when I was stressing about getting older, I couldn't really find any material relating to getting older. But what about the mental side of getting older? Like, what were the things that really kind of helped me to stabilize my life, stabilize my mental health, and also sort of be more easier on myself and just softer in making decisions and just getting to where I wanted to get? I wanted to tell you that you're not late. Even if you feel like you're late, you are not. This is because everybody around you might seem like, through social media, it feels like everybody around you are like really rapidly growing their social following, their businesses, they have a lot of friends, they travel, they do all these things. But remember again that social media only shows you such a small part of everything that there is to life. So be mindful of not really projecting others' success. You have your own timing, and your timing is always perfect. If you're only starting out later in your life, it means that you weren't ready before to start. So trust the process, trust the timing, and especially just trust that whatever you need to know right now is presented to you, and the rest will just come at the right time. So there's like a shift happening in your life. If you feel like this is the period in your life where you're called to do specific things or you're having new interests, this is the specific and exactly the right time for these things to happen. If they would have happened before, you would have not been as interested in them or maybe as serious to actually like pursue them. So know that everything is happening in the right time, and you cannot really speed up things. The only thing you can do is decide on what you want to do and just do everything that you can in your power in getting to that final result or that goal, that dream. We always have these thoughts of like, why should I start now? I'm already late. Everybody is just doing so much better than me, or they're more like they're ahead of me in life on some level, whatever the level is for you. Remember that they also started somewhere. Like they also started with 0 following, or they started with only that one photograph when they wanted to be photographers. They also started with that application applying to schools or grants or whatever it is. So just understand that everything has to start from 0 at some point. So if you are starting now and they started 3 years ago, you can kind of imagine what would happen for you within the next 3 years in your life. Again, it's not like not all speed is movement, remember. So people might be doing a lot, but it doesn't mean that a lot is happening. We might be also just focusing a lot of our energy on things that are not important, and they won't really give us any growth, and we are not able to utilize those things in order for us to actually grow to the direction that we want to go. Don't just go through it, you have to grow through it and understand that everything that is happening in your life, even if you feel like you're stuck, it's there to teach you something. So once you start looking at things as if they are really teaching you something, and you can learn from everything, like all the bad things that are happening to you, all the pain, all the hurt, what can you learn from that? Can you really dig deeper and look within yourself and understand, why is this happening and what do I need to learn from this? Because that will single-handedly just ease in a lot of things in your life. This will make even the traumatic events in your life seem like they are there for a reason, and they are. You start to look at even all the negative things in your life through this lens of, what could I learn from this? Not why is this happening to me, but what could I learn from this? And because the time is still passing by, like we're all living through life, why wouldn't you want to make something out of it? Because you are the sole reason why the things you have in your life are in your life. And by this I mean the job that you're working in, or the friends that you have, the relationship that you're entertaining. These are all things that you have to first decide to let into your life, decide to apply for these, decide to continue being around these things. So we do create our reality, and we do create the life that we want, even if it's very slow, because we cannot create a life outside of us if we're internally not aligned with that, and if we internally feel that we're not worthy of that, or if we're not ready for it, like mentally. There is definitely a lot of inner work to be done for you to be able to create the life that you want, but if you don't start now, the time will still pass. So why not start doing small things, small changes to shift your mentality more to the direction that you want to go? You will still eventually turn 30 or 40 or 50. So why why wouldn't you look at those future years as you have like 30 years time to get to where you want to get? Either you do something about it, small steps every day, and even taking time off sometimes. You don't have to always be pursuing your dreams. Like, you can rest in between too. A lot of us feel that if we're not doing it constantly all the time, then we are not, like, we have to just give up. Let's say if you start exercising and then there is 2 days, 3 days that you can't make it to the gym, or there's something else that is slowing your progress, it doesn't mean that you cannot just come back to it and then continue with it. But a lot of people might feel that now it didn't like really go as planned, so I might as well give up. And this applies to all the other areas in your life, that you can actually bounce back. If you've had a rough period in your life where you haven't really been doing all those things, you can always come back to it. You don't need to be doing it every day. But I do feel that you need to make it a habit first. So in the beginning, it feels like it's not a habit, and that's because it's not a habit. So it's very difficult to do it consistently. But once you start doing it consistently, you will then create a habit out of it, and then it's more easier to also take breaks out of it. If it's any help, I'm 35 now and I'm turning 36 next month, and I have to say that I haven't felt this young even when I was 20. And I'm not talking about the things that we feel are young, like, you know, staying up late, drinking, partying, just being with your friends, like none of that. I feel so good within my body. Even if I am growing older and getting older, my body is changing. This is because I learned to implement habits that are making it more enjoyable for me, this whole experience, this whole, you know, journey of life. So find these habits for yourself. Understand that the years will still pass you by, and it's your responsibility to decide what you're going to do with those years, with that time that you have in your hands. Because we all have those 24 hours, and there has to be some periods in your life where you just cut out everything that is not serving you. And it might be very difficult in the beginning, because it means that a lot of friends have to go, a lot of hobbies that are not serving you have to go, like things that don't feel good just need to go, whether it's drinking, whether it's just being with specific friends, going out, maybe even entertaining some family members. Like, all these things, if they're not serving you, if you don't feel good within these things, or if you don't feel good in doing these things, or if you don't feel like this is something that needs to be done in order for you to get somewhere else, then let it go, like cut it out. So I've been on this journey for about, like I said in my previous videos, I would say something like maybe 5 years, 6 years. I feel like I sort of woke up when I was 27, 28. But after that, I would say that working with energy and working with the mindset and manifestation, it all started 2-3 years ago. The most powerful thing that I understood was I can really create my reality. At first, it felt like I cannot. Like, this is just words coming out of my mouth and I am not believing what I'm saying to myself. But little by little, changing small things, changing bigger things, and then it becomes months, it becomes years, and afterward you'll be looking back and thinking, I really did change that. I really did make a drastic change within my personality, within my reality around me. But you have to see yourself having it. As Florence Scovel-Shinn said, you need to exercise your faith in 3 ways: seeing, speaking, and acting, which means visualization for seeing things that are not in your current reality, but you see yourself having them eventually. Speaking, I do believe in evil eye. I don't think you need to express all your goals to people around you. You can be saying it out loud if you're very 100% sure, but if you feel that these people will judge you or somehow bring you down with your goals, then do not share these things, but do speak them out loud in your own environment. So when you're at home doing affirmations, EFT, just speaking things, like having a conversation with yourself where you are thanking yourself in acquiring all these things or doing the job, doing the work, is very helpful, because speaking is vibration. So once you speak, you're actually letting it out of your body to the outside world. And the third thing that is equally as important as the rest of it is aligned action. So acting as you already have it, acting as you already are the person that you want to be. And again, I know it's so vague. Like, you might think, what is this? Like, how can I act or move as if I'm wealthy, as if I'm confident, if I'm not? This is where these previous things come into play. So doing visualization and meditation and EFT, mirror work, all this, you're actually priming and sort of reprogramming your inner self. So if you feel like you don't have any confidence within yourself, or you don't have any self-love, you don't feel worthy, you have fear of success, working on this day in, day out for months, it depends on the level of who you are at this time and what you experienced in the past. For me, it has taken about a couple of years to get to this point. And if you look at my videos from, I think I have one video that is from 2020 or maybe 21, and you can see that I'm a totally different person. Like, I look at myself and I see that I have low self-esteem. Like, I was not internally really loving myself. Even if I was like speaking out loud and really moving as if I was confident, I really wasn't. And I know this because I know myself now, and I look at myself, like I look back at myself and I feel like, girl, like you were putting such a show, but it was not internal. The work was not done internally. Acting as if you already have it means that you do not worry about it and you do what needs to be done for it. So let's say when I started photography and I was feeling like I'm not a photographer, how could I ever become one? I just started photographing. And I know this sounds so simple, but it is actually so simple. So do these things that you feel or think that these people are doing. And if you're not sure, follow them. You can follow them on social media. You can follow them on YouTube in their lives. You can really see what their day-to-day life is like. Starting to do all these small things, these will become as habits for you. And moving from there, these habits become your life. So first you create these habits by small changes. Then these habits will create your reality, and then you notice that you actually have this reality because these habits will start to attract similar things. Everything is interconnected. So first, of course, you need to know where you want to be going, but you are not too late. I feel like this is the biggest illusion because the time will still pass. You can start whenever you feel that you are ready, or if you are fed up with everything that you have at the moment, that's also a turning point. Like, you need to really be at such a low point in your life where you feel that things need to drastically change. You might even feel a bit mad about it. And this is the point that you need to experience, because being in that place will really force you to understand that you need to take responsibility for your life. You need to really be the person who makes the change. No one else will do it for you. People might be nudging you to do it, like pushing you into different directions, but you're the one who will actually make the first step towards this change. So why not do it? Like, why not start something that you've always wanted? And if you're not sure what you've always wanted, write things down. Look at yourself in the mirror and think, what are the things that I enjoy doing without anyone's judgment, without any filters of what might other people think, or is this cool enough for others, or would people perceive me as silly or something? Like, don't think about these things. Just think about what truly, authentically makes you happy, what brings you joy, and what like really sparks the insides of you when you even think about it. And just be with yourself, because once you're with yourself, you're more in tune to be able to hear your intuition and inner thoughts and like inner discussion, and this will guide you to where you want to go. But you need to know that you're not late, but you need to start at some point.